Now, after nearly 3 years of Kingdom Hearts 3 being released, heading into 2022, Phase 2 is continuing, and we are likely looking forward to a new set of worlds to explore. Maybe tackling some highly requested Disney movies people wanted to see represented, maybe some of the newer ones, or perhaps returning worlds people missed in previous games. Regardless, it should be exciting nonetheless what worlds they decide to pick for the future of the franchise. Which I think, if you ask me, there's a couple that are almost guaranteed to show up in future games, whether it be a non-numbered title or a Kingdom Hearts 4, just based on circumstances surrounding these properties, along with the story for the Kingdom Hearts series making sense for them, which Moana is one of them. Moana is a movie that came out in 2016, and since then still reigns as perhaps my favorite Disney movie ever. Maybe favorite movie ever. Like, it's that up there for me. The plot of Moana gives me a lot of Kingdom Hearts 1 vibes, though not only that, but the sense of adventure this movie brings in just one standalone film makes it hard not to get immersed while watching it. Since watching Moana, I've been dreaming of a boss with Te Fiti or mini boss with Maui. Just imagine sailing across the vibrant ocean on the little raft Moana has, which can easily be a KH1 callback for whoever in the Destiny Trio decides to visit that world, since the Destiny Trio tried to make a raft to visit the outside world to explore it, which ended up going a little bit of a different direction, but it's something that those characters can relate with Moana with very well. And the soundtrack for this movie is just amazing, so imagine what Yoko could do taking inspiration off of this for a battle theme or a world theme, bosses, etc. But most of that was just me shilling the movie just a tea bit. However, those wishes and hopes aren't the reason I think the world is likely going forward. Kingdom Hearts 3 introduced the new 7 hearts, but in the game we only actually got introduced to 4 of them. Kairi, who didn't pass on her powers, Rapunzel, and Anna and Elsa, leaving 3 more princesses, or 3 more of the new 7 hearts, which most of them are likely to be Disney princesses. Now, Square Enix can probably interpret this however they want and may include more characters that aren't princesses as part of the new 7 hearts, though if they don't do that, which they haven't for 20 years, and continue the trend, then Moana is pretty much a shoo-in based on popularity and overall recency. Due to Moana's popularity, I see it being slightly more likely that they'd save a new 7 heart on her scale for a Kingdom Hearts 4, but who knows what Phase 2 will start off with this year. Additionally, Square Enix has already went through a lot of the major princesses just from the previous 7 hearts, excluding Kairi, of course. Though still a few major ones being left are Pocahontas, Ariel, who never actually was a Princess of Heart, Tiana from Princess and the Frog, Merida from Brave, and just a few others like Rhea from Raya and the Last Dragon, and some unofficial princesses, though you get the picture. There's not that many Disney princesses that we haven't already seen as worlds in Kingdom Hearts. However, to be one of the new 7 hearts, you don't technically have to be a Disney princess. It's just very likely. Given the new saga and new phase of the franchise, it is possible they switch things up. Though based on who 3 of the 7 hearts already are, it seems like the princess route is once again what they're going to be going with, which means worlds like Moana and Brave are very, very likely. I'd also throw in Princess and the Frog as well, though I think the most likely one out of these would be Moana, with her being one of the new 7 hearts as a major reason. I would be super excited with any of these worlds making it in, all of them having such unique aesthetics, Moana being more adventure-esque, so depending on when you drop in the world, you could be on an island that reminds you very much of home, or sailing across the ocean meeting Maui and restoring the heart. Brave being one of the darker toned Disney movies and all its themes about fate and changing it. I thought it was super likely for Kingdom Hearts 3 before it came out, though it not being in Kingdom Hearts 3 just made me think it was even more likely for the next games. Then Princess and the Frog is honestly just a pure vibe. It likely would be a world similar to Pride Lands and Sora and friends would turn into frogs or something, but this movie was just so fun to watch, so I would love to visit it in Kingdom Hearts. Now, those are 3 movies I mentioned being likely for future Kingdom Hearts games, though I've got more, like Frozen. Again, is probably coming. Most likely coming off of the plot of Frozen 2, which is amazing. I loved that movie. I was just so impressed with how they expanded the world of Frozen in such a unique and interesting way. I would absolutely love to see that movie again in Kingdom Hearts, even though Frozen 1 and KH3 left a lot to be desired. I would honestly still love to see Frozen 2 adapted. Hopefully they just, give it proper care this time. And the main reason I think Frozen 2 is definitely coming is because it's a world that is just way too popular. I mean, it is one of the most popular animated movies, well, ever. And they could prioritize newer worlds, yes, which this would technically be a newer world, with Frozen 2 releasing fairly recently, but I really think Frozen, despite the way it was treated in Kingdom Hearts 3, is just way too much of a draw to ignore. So I'd be more surprised if I didn't see it in one of the next titles, compared to if it was. On top of that, with Anna and Elsa being 2 of the 7 hearts, depending on what they do with that plot line, us seeing them again is more likely than it is not. One I'm pretty confident about as far as worlds also is Toy Box. Maybe not necessarily Galaxy Toys, but the world of Toy Story as a whole. I mean, I have a theory about there being a whole portal to Verum Rex in Toy Box that people aren't really talking about as much. Yes, it's a mini game, but you see the city in the background, and I feel like that just has to mean something. I could see them revisiting this world just as a way to retrace the steps of Sora, but also because Nomura has wanted Pixar and Kingdom Hearts for a very, very long time, and you can tell he loves their movies and creative so much to the point where he teased Zora, probably one of the main characters in Phase 2, during this world. This world also takes place between Toy Story 2 and 3, which is a very long time gap, meaning there's a lot of room for original Kingdom Hearts story to be put in. So creative freedom with that world is in abundance. Now, the last one may surprise you a bit, though I admit I'm not as confident on this one as I am others, though Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts I think is inevitable, I'd say. Square Enix does have to work with Lucasfilms directly from our understanding, and I'd imagine with the binge of Disney Plus shows we're getting ready to get from Lucasfilms, that they're trying to be careful with the Star Wars property right now and its representation, though I believe if anyone could get it to happen in Kingdom Hearts, it would be the series director Tetsuya Nomura. There's a lot of interesting routes they could go with the Star Wars story for Kingdom Hearts, but I feel like they would probably just go with A New Hope as a world visit, and it's hard to say what game they would do it in as well, but they would probably save it for a bigger title, like a numbered title. But I am sure that there is a day in the future where Star Wars is in Kingdom Hearts, and I would guess it would happen in Phase 2. I mean, lightsaber Keyblade, Death Star battle, Darth Vader battle, or whatever time period they put these characters in. There's a lot they could do with that property. But once again, it doesn't just come down to Disney for that, it also comes down to Lucasfilms. Similar to how they worked with Pixar for the Pixar worlds, they would be working with Lucasfilms for the Star Wars world. But that would be my last prediction. I truly believe most of the movies mentioned here will end up in Kingdom Hearts one of these days in Phase 2. Some sooner than others, but a lot of them I would think would come relatively soon, like within the next couple of games. The future is pretty unpredictable, but assuming the next games have Disney worlds, I think these will be among them. Tell me some of your thoughts though. Do you believe Disney worlds even have a place in the future plot of Kingdom Hearts? If so, are these worlds something you'd be interested in seeing? Let's get a discussion going down below. But if you enjoyed today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.